Nice crowd. Good morning. Namaste, everybody. I'm Alok Kumar, and I'm a professor here, associate professor here in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at ISC. Myself and Professor Varsha Singh, who is also a professor here at ISC, we both, on behalf of the entire organizing committee, we invite you and extend our warmest wishes for welcome to you for having come here on a Saturday morning. Thank you very much. So to begin with, what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite two of our very special guests here. First, Director of ISC, Professor Rangarajan. I'd like him to please come to the stage. And we have a very special chief guest with us today, and his Shri Uma Maheshwaran. He's a director at the Human Space Flight Center at ISRO, and we are very glad to have him. Sir, we'd like you to give you a present and then welcome you to come to the dais. So good morning again, and this is a very special conference, probably one of its first of its kind in India. Right? I mean, the world has a history of having sent people to the moon, and maybe they'll send some people to the Mars as well. But now India also joins those aspirations with our human space program, and I think everybody is looking up to that with a lot of enthusiasm and expectation. So this special event has brought together a very interesting mix of people. We have a group of scientists from abroad whose talks will be there in the very beginning of the conference. And then we have, these people have a lot of experience with space biology and biotechnology, so I think it is very appropriate that they will begin the session. And then we have a very large crowd of very accomplished scientists from ISRO also here today. And we have faculty from ISC, obviously, students and faculty. We have a very large contingent of students from outside of ISC as well, and we are really happy to see all of them here. I think they are going to be the future, and some of them will probably also maybe go to the next, be the next astronauts, right? So I hope everybody is feeling very excited about this. And in this very distinguished event, what we have been able to do, which is a pleasure for both me and Varsha, is to bring together two very distinguished institutions of India, ISC and ISRO. So for that, what I'd like to do is, I'd like to get words from both these institutions to get this ceremony started. So in order to do that, I'd first ask our director, Professor Rangarajan, to say a few words.
Let me warmly welcome all of you to this symposium. As Alok pointed out, probably this is the first of its type in the country. We hope there'll be many more. And let me warmly welcome all the guests, especially those who have traveled long distances to be here. IAC and ISRO have been collaborating right from the inception of ISRO, I would say. We can claim to be an older institution than ISRO. So therefore, we have been interacting right from the beginning. And we also have the space technology cell in IAC, which funds for you through ISRO funds many projects here. We also have tried to expand our areas of engagement. Now we are into biology, astrochemistry, space biology, astrochemistry, manufacturing in outer space, and so many other areas that we have ventured into. And from IAC side, we have also tried to put in some seed funding for some of these projects. So we look forward to more extensive collaborations, not just with ISRO, but we also have guests. Venkat is here from JPL, Murthy had been here earlier. So they have been teaching courses here on astrobiology and astrochemistry. We are happy that they are here, and we hope that collaboration also will take off, and also collaboration with NASA in general and with other space agencies across the world. So we also look forward to creating new academic programs for people who want to get into this area. So that is something that we are working on. So with these few words, let me again welcome all of you. It's a pleasure to have you here on our beautiful campus. We hope you enjoy your stay here. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. So next, I'd like to invite Sri Umameshwaran to say us a few words.
Very good morning. Most respected Director of Indian Institute of Science, the Premier Institute of India, Sri Professor Rangarajan, other senior professors of IISc. I repeat the word what I told earlier, the galaxy of experts who have come up from across the Atlantic, I would say, to be part of this very, very, I would say, timely symposium, space biology and biotechnology, which is happening based on the initiative of IISc. I compliment them. I also thank the organizers for inviting me. I consider it as a great privilege and be a part of this symposium today. So when Professor Rangarajan was talking about the collaboration that ISRO and IISc has been having from the inception of ISRO, as he rightly said, and I would say that it is not only a collaboration, we were practically bonded when it really started, when ISRO really started in getting into, molding into an organization, I would say, because in 69 only, formerly ISRO was declared as an institution. Before that it was under, basically under, then also it was under Department of Atomic Energy only till 72. But the important thing is the Indian space program and the germination of the space activities is based on the vision of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, but I would say the flesh and blood of the so-called institution, the construction, the kind of infrastructure that has been developed has been, should be, or I should say it should be credited to Professor Satish Dhawan, who is basically Indian Institute of Science only. That's what I said. We were practically bonded at that time. And it is also told that the headquarters of Department of Space was in Bangalore only because Professor Satish Dhawan told that I have to be in Bangalore because I have to be in Indian Institute of Science. So that is the bondage with which we have started. So how it cannot be different? We have to collaborate. We are destined to collaborate. So that is the point. And Professor was mentioning in the morning that JPL was formed 30 years before NASA was formed. Then I immediately told IISc also was formed around 30-40 years before ISRO was formed. So there is always a thought process, there is always a wish, there is always a kind of desire that we need to have a kind of institutionalized system like NASA and JPL is having, and why not ISRO and IISc? There cannot be a better model than that. And practically, I am saying the way the activities are getting geared up now, the way students are coming, our people are coming here and getting, they're bettering their knowledge, I would put it that way. And I think it's not far away, that it's not that the dream to come true, an institutionalized kind of system or synergy between ISRO and IISc. So in that aspect, let me just touch upon Gaganyaan program, because I think there are many young, the next gen is in front of me, I would say. So, and our faith is in you only. In a couple of years, most of us will disappear from the scenario, and you people have to take it on. That's why I said Gaganyaan. I would like to mention a few words, if you give me some time on that. Basically, Gaganyaan, I would say, is not, I'm telling this everywhere. Gaganyaan is not an ISRO program. It is a pan-India program. I want to stress that. It is a collaboration of so many stakeholders in India. Not only ISRO, the entire armed forces are part of this in various roles. As you know, always ISRO has been associated with the industries, be it big industry or MSME or startups. We are always part of them from the beginning in 60s onwards. So industry is not our vendors, industry is our partners. And most of the Gaganyaan related structures, developments, etc. is happening in industries. More than 600 industries are involved. So it is, again, industry is involved. And then obviously academic institutions and students. Without them, we cannot proceed. So as you may recall, we had given an expression of interest for bringing payloads, experiments as part of the Gaganyaan program. And initially, the first set, I think around 25 proposals only came. Again, we repeat, because of COVID scenario, things were not in a very positive kind of situation. But again, we repeated that, and it was more than 220, and we had a tough time in selecting. And 7 payloads have been firmed up, and I'm very glad to say that IAC is one of them. And I understand that today, I think out of 7, I think 5 teams are going to present on these aspects, and that's a lot of exciting proposals are there. So, and this is only a beginning. What we are talking about is giving you an opportunity in low Earth orbit scenario, wherein in a microgravity scenario where you can do many experiments which you may not be able to do here. And we are planning to do it in our first 2 unmanned flights. And this is going to continue. So this 200 can become 2000 also in future. That's what I believe, that's what I want. And for that, you people are there. You have to come out with out-of-the-box thinking, out-of-the-box ideas. Everybody is talking about Elon Musk and SpaceX. The most significant part of why we are talking about them is the kind of thought process and the kind of ideas which may be initially construed as crazy, but they are doing it, they are realizing it, and they are succeeding. I think that is the speciality why we should appreciate SpaceX team. Mind-boggling kind of experiments, and at a rate which is unimaginable, which nobody else has done so far. So why not we? We can definitely do it. We should do it. So for that, we are giving you all the freedom for your thought process to develop, bring new ideas so that it can be transformed into reality. That is one of the objectives, I would say, of Gaganyaan program itself, to rekindle the kind of scientific temperament among you. So that is why I am excited to stand before you. Briefly, I will tell about Gaganyaan is that it is not a program that has just come out in last 4 years or something like that. The thought process, the plan, the strategies have been there for the last 20 years with the formation of a study team in 2003, as early as 2003, wherein the initial concept itself, whether we will be able to do it, are we capable of doing it, do we have the infrastructure to do it, do we have the technology to do it. So that study team gave a report which was further refined by, again, a set of second team of people who further framed up the strategies and how we need to proceed, execute. Based on all these things, finally in 2012, if I remember correctly, the pre-project team was formed formally. And they did an excellent job, I would say, in doing the initial kind of experimental tests, like what we call the pad abort test, wherein the escape crew escape system, if any anomaly is coming from at the launch pad itself, we should save the astronauts, and that was successfully conducted the first time itself. And there was another mission called CARE, where the crew module re-entry experiment that we call, which was part of another experiment, which is the GSLV or LVM-3 first experimental launch, where it was a suborbital launch, where we wanted to demonstrate all the technologies other than the cryo stage. So we put this crew module also into that. It went up to near the, I would say around 300 kilometers kind of scenario, came back, landed safely, and we retrieved the crew module. So many of the technologies were demonstrated successfully there. So these are all so-called the precursor to the Gaganyaan program, based on which we could give confidence to the government that yes, time is ripe for us to really plunge into the program in full steam. And that's why 2018 Honorable Prime Minister announced in the Independence Day about the Gaganyaan program, where he announced a boy or a girl should go from our own soil in our own vehicle to space and come back safely. And underline, come back safely. That is very important. So that, why I'm telling that is extremely important. As far as the launch vehicle is concerned, you would have heard LVM-3, human-rated LVM-3 is our launch vehicle. And all the human rating aspects, as well as the subassembly testings, engine testing, everything is completed. I would say that launch vehicle is practically ready now. You would have heard the recent fantastic success of LVM-3 OneWeb mission, where 36 satellites were injected into precise orbit. The beauty of the thing is the spent cryo stage was first time utilized for maneuvering the orbit, so that the satellites can be ejected appropriately. And that is a very risky venture, I would say, but we succeeded. And that's the beauty of it. And that single mission has proved the reliability of that launch vehicle. So human-rated launch vehicle is already there. The technology related to the crew module, where the astronauts are supposed to fly, is already there. There are no issues, technical issues pending, only the physical time that is taken to fabricate those crew. It's a very complex kind of structure, with double-walled structure, which has to have so many safety features, so that inadvertently doesn't get disintegrated. That's extremely important. So crew module fabrication is in progress, but along with that, as I said, come back safely, we need to demonstrate our reliability as well as the quality related. This is a totally different kind of ball game, not like launching satellites or going to unmanned missions. It is a different ball game. So the reliability has to be one order better, the quality levels have to be one order better. So, and we need to demonstrate in many tests. So that is why this next year, starting from, I would say, January or February, will be a series of demonstrative tests, including what we call test vehicle missions. We have designed a separate launch vehicle for demonstrating the capability of crew escape system, as well as the parachute deployment during descent, wherein a series of parachutes have to be deployed at the appropriate sequence so that deceleration happens normally. So, but this is a very complex process, so we have at least 4 test vehicle missions, wherein the crew module will be taken to different altitudes, and we will simulate the failure modes and see that the crew module escapes with the crew escape system appropriately and comes back safely. And the kind of technology that is complex is only because we have to a priori detect an impending failure. And that is a complexity. So you not only need very accurate measurements, you need kind of very complex algorithms for prediction of impending disasters. And the entire crew module or the crew escape system has to operate faster than the kind of the disaster that is going to happen. So that is the complexity involved. So the technology is there, but we need to demonstrate that. So that also needs a series of tests Also, we have to, as I said, the parachute system has to be unambiguously demonstrated in numbers. So we have around 15 to 16 parachute integrated airdrop test, that's what we call, where this crew module will be taken in a Chinook helicopter to 5 kilometers and dropped, and see that the parachutes are opening. So these are all the kind of tests that we are going to do throughout the next year, culminating by end of next year, the first unmanned mission. We have decided, the National Advisory Committee has recommended that we should have at least 2 unmanned flights successfully completed before we decide on the manned mission. So things, if everything goes right, maybe end of 2024, we expect to have the first manned mission. So this is the scenario I just wanted to highlight to you. And as far as Indian Institute of Science is considered, it is playing a very vital role in the Gaganyaan program. Professors from IISc have been taking courses on theoretical basics for the Gaganyaan astronaut designates. As I said, we have already selected the astronaut designates, and they have completed their Russian part of training, and now they are undergoing our Gaganyaan part of training in Bangalore. So many courses including mathematics, fluid mechanics, aerodynamics, propulsion, aerothermodynamics that are being conducted by IISc professors only. IISc is also involved in the research on cognitive load estimation and microgravity experiments for Gaganyaan mission, as I said earlier. So as I said, I talked about the announcement of opportunity. And basically the environment of space, as you know, is very, very harsh. It imposes many unique challenges in contrast to the earthly atmosphere, and creates serious threats to human life and other life forms. Some of the major space hazards are like extreme temperature variations, very low pressure or vacuum microgravity experiment, radiation. I think most of these you are familiar with. So definitely the kind of space biology that we are talking about, it has to play a very important role in developing a proper understanding about the space environment and its adverse effects on human health and other life forms, including the plants, the animals, and the microorganisms. Definitely, I am seeing a galaxy of people here. Many spacefaring nations have started human space flight activity very early, and they have progressed significantly through rigorous experimentation. Now we are also starting, but we need to catch up. So normally it is not sufficient that we need to jump. We need to leapfrog. So that is why I think this today's seminar has to be very significant in that aspect. How can we leapfrog? And I really want the academia to seize this opportunity and plan studies towards innovative solutions and knowledge enhancement, which will lead better understanding of these effects of space environment. I'm extremely happy once again to note that Indian Institute of Science has taken a lead to start research in this area of space biology. This short course organized by IISc and the workshop today, I'm sure will go a long way in sowing the seeds of space biology research in this country. My felicitations to all of you and best wishes to all the professors who are involved in this initiative. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I am sure that IISc and ISRO have had a very long history, and as the Gaganyaan program takes off, I'm sure this relationship will become deeper and deeper. So what I'd like to now do is just quickly give you an overview of today's events. So what we'll have is, in the beginning, as I already said, we'll have a series of talks from a number of distinguished scientists who have come from abroad and who have had a long experience in space biology and biotechnology, and they will be giving us their insights that they've developed over their long careers. My co-chair, Professor Varsha, she will be the session chair for this event. At the end of this event, we also have We'll go down for a photo session, and after that we can have lunch. Lunch is going to be in the main guest house, which is, if some of you know IISc, it's just about 500 meters walk down. Those of you who don't know, we'll also have 2 buses running continuous shuttles, so you can also take buses to main guest house and back. That's where the lunch will be. Coffee and refreshments are served in the hall to my left. So after that, after lunch, we will reconvene, and we have a very special set of talks. These are different payloads which are in different stages of being ready for Gaganyaan. So that's why the name Going with Gaganyaan. And I think I'm myself very excited to hear of the progress some of my colleagues here have made, and show them and see what their work is. After that, we have a poster session and tea. The poster session will be in the hall to my left. And then after that, we have a series of very interesting talks from IISc, and well, there's one talk from JNC, which is basically still an IISc family institution, about some of the emerging works in space that is happening. There's a lot of work that is happening. We cannot show you everything in one day. So we chose a small set. So this consider this a very small set of the exciting work that is going on. Here, it will give you an overview or an exciting sneak peek at the exciting research that is going on here. And in the evening from 5 to 8, we'll have a panel discussion, which is going to be about a master's course in space technologies. The moderator for that will be Professor Ashwini Ratnu, and from aerospace. And we'll have Professor Joseph Matthew, myself, and we will have Professor Sri Uma Maheshwaran as the ISRO representative, and we'll have Neha Satak, who happens to be our alumnus, and she is now heading Astrom, so she will be part of the panel. So after that, we'll end the event, and there's dinner event for invited guests, special invited guests. So I hope this goes very well, and you learn a lot, and you teach us a lot too, hopefully. So with that, I would like to give the floor over to Varsha.